left to right so we can get the distance left to right. And again, it's 46. All right? And then we're going to measure in the middle of the work area. The distance is 18, so we're going to be 9 inches. All right? So that's where our line is going to be, is right here at 9 inches.
Same like sound.
Same like sound.
You can cross and...
All right. So I'm going to write on this glass here, so we don't have to go all the way to the board. I got it. All right. So we have 46 inches. NSF says your first reading is 6 inches in from the sidewall. So from here, move in 6 inches. So here's my first reading. 6 inches in from the sidewall, right there. And my reading on the other side is 6 inches in from the sidewall. There's my next reading. They say that all the rest of the readings can be no farther than a foot apart, and they have to be equally spaced. Does this sound familiar?
Yeah, same
All right.
space.
So
6 inches.
46. What are we going to subtract from 46?
12.
12. Guess what we're going to get? We're going to get 34. What are we going to divide it by? 4.
No more than 12.
Yeah.
No more than 12. No more than 12. We're going to divide it by 12. And we're going to get 2.89. We're going to have to divide. What are we going to do with the 2.89?
3.
We're going to round it up to 3. We're going to take the 34 here. We're going to divide it by 3. We're going to come up with 11.3 inches. So that's our spacing. All right? So from here to here, our next one is 11.3. Our next one is 11.3. And our last one, I didn't do quite 11.3. It's right there. And then this one should come out to 11.3, and it did. Okay? So, there's our readings for the light. Okay? You having fun back there? Ah, good. All right. So, here's our light meter. They all look different, but we're going to take 2 sets of readings, just like every other time. We're going to take a background set, and then we're going to take an actual set. All right. Many cabinets have electronic ballast. And an electronic ballast takes a while to warm up. Okay? So if your lights are already on, you take your readings with the light on first. Okay? If the light is already off, then just take your background readings first. Then you don't have to wait 2 or 3 minutes for your electronic ballast to warm up. Because as it's warming up, the light keeps getting brighter and brighter and brighter and brighter. Okay? So, our light's on, we're going to take readings. When we measure our background, we're going to be, in this one, we're going to be on the 0 to 50 scale, foot candle scale, because we're measuring lower numbers. When we're measuring our gross, we're going to be measuring on this scale, 0 to 250. So I'm measuring gross, so I'm going to slip it over the 250 scale. And then I'm going to place this dot, that's the sensor, on the meter right there, on my dot that I put in the workspace. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to record the numbers. Okay? What I don't want to do is stand here, because if I stand here, I block this light from coming in and I change the number. Okay? So my first number is 80. Then I go over to here, do my next number, and it's 121. My next number, it's 120. My last number looks like it's 85. Okay? Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the exact same thing, except for I'm going to turn the lights off. Alright? And then I've got to read it, and I can't read that because it's too dark. But it's like 3, like 6. I'm just going to make stuff up. So I got 3, 6, 6, 3, I'll say. Alright? I just made it up. Alright? So, now what we do is we average these all together, and we get 101, and then we average all these together, and we get 5. Alright? NSF says the maximum background, the maximum you can have for a background is 15. 15 foot candles. Alright? And if it's greater than 15 foot candles, what you have to do is turn some lights in the room off to get it so that it's less than 15 foot candles. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
for the background. All right. Then, what they say, what this number has to be, it has to be greater than 45 plus whatever your background is. So in this case, our background was 5, so we take 45 plus 5 would be 50. So these average here has to be greater than 50. Does that make sense? That's just what the standard says. That's what they base it on. 45-foot candles plus your background. Your average of all your readings has to be greater than 45 plus your background, whatever your background is. If it's less than that, the cabinet fails. There is no maximum. It can be as